Look, I used to think that being a good partner meant you showed up and you work hard. But at 44, I'm learning that it's way more layered than that. I'm working on how I listen, am I being present, how I'm slowing myself down, and how to speak in a love language that's different than my own. Let's get into it. Okay, so my wife and I have now been married for 12 years, going on 13 in August. We've been together for about 16 years total. And over the course of our relationship, we have matured and gone through certain challenges, things like having kids, having mortgages, moving in with each other, moving from place to place, starting out our careers, getting on the same page financially, achieving goals together, getting through arguments, learning and growing from ourselves, just being aware of ourselves, and the maturity that comes along over time. I'm not the person I was when I was in my 20s, when I first met my wife, and I'm glad that I'm not, because even today, I'm still learning how to navigate adulthood, and it's still a challenge. So the first thing that I've been working on to be a better partner is trying to listen. Okay, so I am trying to listen to understand versus listening to fix. So before, my wife would tell me about her day when I would ask her, and she would start to kind of express herself. And I always had that intention of trying to fix whatever she was telling me. Instead of realizing that my wife or some people that you're talking to, whoever your partner is, that they just need a space to talk, a space to express themselves and just be heard, to where we just need to understand where they're coming from. And the response doesn't always need to be a solution. That's something that I'm still learning to this day. Okay, the second thing I am trying to work on is being more present. So I struggle with this because I get easily distracted. I lose sight or lose track of what I'm supposed to be doing. I lose focus on the task at hand. And a lot of times I'm not thinking about the moment in front of me. So what I'm trying to do is just be more intentional with the time that I have, even if the time is shorter because of the kids and because we have all these obligations and because of work. I'm trying to be intentional with the time that we do have. So when I am talking or communicating with my wife, I'm trying to be more present. I need to work on removing distractions, setting my phone aside, turning the TV off, being in the same room, not asking a question as I'm walking away. I'm being mindful with my positioning, with my body language, and just being more attentive to read the cues that my wife's giving me so that I can be responding to her appropriately and making her feel important because she is to me. Okay, so the third thing that I'm working on is trying to slow myself down when there's a conflict or when there's something going on that we're trying to work through with my wife. So I'm trying to slow myself down to stop thinking about wanting to win and more about what is going on right now, what is happening, and then trying to respond accordingly so that I don't overreact. I don't jump to conclusion. I give it time to breathe, even if it is something that I need to work on, or if it is a challenge that comes up with my wife, I'm giving it time to breathe, where I might even walk away and then come back where I've processed it, not necessarily responding in the moment, because sometimes I have a tendency to shout something out, or I say something I really don't mean and I wish I could take back. And so I'm fighting that impulse, that urge to defend myself, to prove my point. And that's really helping our relationship and giving my wife that time to also process on her own, and then giving her the space that she might need, to where I want to fix it right then and there, but she might need more time to work on it. And so giving ourselves a certain amount of space is healthy in a lot of situations. The other thing that I'm trying to do is be more mindful of how we communicate. So sometimes going on a walk and talking side by side is better than us standing in front of each other, confronting the point or the matter at hand. and trying to kind of like diminish or lower the temperature in the environment so you can actually listen to each other when you're trying to solve and work past a conflict. Okay, so the last thing that I'm working on is showing love to my wife in her love language. So before, what I would do is I would show her love in my love language. And the way that I would do that before was acts of service. So to give you an example, I would, let's say, wash her car or organize the inside of her car, clean out her trunk or something like that. And I was thinking that I was expecting that when I would show her that she would be over the moon, so excited and ecstatic that I had done that. But in reality, it wasn't meeting her needs because that's not what was important to her. What I learned, and I'm learning over time, is that her love language is actually quality time. And when I say quality time, it's planning dates, taking the time to set aside reservation or putting the thought into the activity that we're doing. If it requires accommodations or putting together a picnic basket or letting her know ahead of time what we're doing, or even asking her what she wanted to do and then including her in the process to show her that I care about her interests and care about her input. And that makes her feel connected and important. So over the years, I've gotten better at that, and my love language has changed because of that. So I love quality time, especially now that we have kids and that our time is much shorter and less frequent because we're so busy with our obligations. It's still a challenge, even at 44, being a good partner to my wife. I'm still struggling with how to listen. I'm still working on being more present and mindful with the time that we have. I'm still working on trying to slow myself down to resolve our conflicts more appropriately. And I'm definitely struggling with how to show love in her love language so that we can mutually benefit in our relationship. But these are the steps that I'm taking to improve our relationship and build stronger, deeper connections. If this resonates with you, let me know in the comments. If there's things that work for you, I would love to hear from you and get your feedback. Thank you so much for all of your support. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the show. And if you have already, I thank you for tuning in every single week. Peace out.